Okay, so in the class, we always need a constructor. I'll get to that in a second, because first we're going to declare the variables we'll use, which I mentioned above. I'm not going to use the longer words I mentioned above. I'm going to call the channel instead of current channel. And I'm going to make the default equal to 1. So if the user doesn't define which channel, then it will be set up to 1. And the volume level, or the volume, and again, I'm just going to call it volume instead of current volume. I'm going to set the default of this equal to 1 as well. And then the Boolean variable to know whether the TV is on or off. I'm going to call it, actually I'm going to call it on. And I'm going to set the default to false. So the TV starts off. Here is the constructor. Remember that constructors do not have a void or variable type. They just have to be the name of the class. That's why it's exactly the same thing here and here. But this constructor is not going to do anything, so I'm going to leave it blank. But I'm putting it there because I want you to remember that you want to make constructors with the new classes. Okay, let's go on to turning on the TV. So we need a method to turn on the TV. It's going to be a void method. So I'm going to call it turn on. And it's not going to have any arguments. But what it's going to do is it's going to set the on variable to true. And similarly, I will have a method to turn it off. I'm going to call that public void turn. Actually, I need to be using lower cases. I like that better. That's more genuine. And on is going to be false. Notice above I have an error. And that's because I tried to capitalize true. It doesn't recognize that. So once I change that to lowercase, it works. Okay, so now I have methods to turn my TV on and off. Next, we'll set a new channel. So we're going to call this set channel. And this one's going to have an argument. So it's going to be public void set channel. Oh my god, I'm typing horribly. And we need an integer for the new channel. Now, this is going to look interesting to you, so just bear with me for a minute. Oops. Okay. So the integer coming in is going to be the channel that the user wants to set it to. And so all we really have to do is set channel to new channel. However, channel is going to get new channel. But as I mentioned in the OneNote, we really shouldn't do this if the TV is off, because you can only change the channel if the TV is on. So before we say channel gets new channel, we're going to make sure the TV is on. So we need an if statement, and we're going to make sure it's on. If it's on, and the volume is greater than 1, greater than or equal to 1. Sorry, my bad. So we want to make sure it's on, and we also want to make sure that they've given us an accurate channel number, because if they try to say change the channel to -1, that's not going to work. So we'll make sure it's on, and we'll make sure that the new channel number they've given us is greater than or equal to 1. Oops. And make sure the new channel they've given us is less than or equal to the highest channel number, which in today's day and age could be up in the 600, but I'm just going to call it 120. We'll kind of think about old-fashioned TVs. So if these conditions are true, if the TV's on and the new channel is a reasonable channel number, Then we're setting the channel to the new channel. We also want to have a method to set the volume. It's going to be really similar to this, so I am going to copy that. I'm going to call it set volume. And we have a variable called new volume that we want to set the TV to. Again, we don't want to set the volume if the TV's not on. So the TV has to be on. The new volume should be greater than or equal to 1. And it should have an equal sign up here. Greater than or equal to 1. And the new volume, again, what's the range of volumes on a TV set? It could be 100, but then you might have a channel that uses a range from 0 to 10. I'm going to call it 100. We'll say that 100 is the maximum volume you can have. And so the volume should only change if the new volume they typed in is in that range. So if all that happens, your volume is going to be set to new volume. And I have to reset accurate. And let's see what I did wrong. Cannot find symbol, new volume. Well, that's okay. Well, that's probably a little better. So you'll see when we develop this more and we call it from the runner program, that stuff will be used more. We have 4 more methods to make about the automatic buttons that set the volume 1 up and the volume 1 down, and the channel 1 up and the channel 1 down. I'm going to do that in the next video, but these are the 4 primary behaviors or the 3 primary behaviors that you need for your TV class.